All right, Amber, it looks like we are live once again.
I missed you.
I missed you too, and we missed you. Hello, my friend.
We did miss you.
Welcome back. We've not been on here doing our regularly scheduled program for quite some time because you went on a vacation.
I had to vacation.
This girl needed a break.
For me.
You are the hardest working woman I've ever met in my entire life. So tell us a brief synopsis of your amazing vacation.
A brief synopsis? Okay. So I went to London for 3 days, then got on a cruise ship, went to Ireland, Scotland, and France. It was amazing.
So you fit right in with the way you.
I had to go see my fellow redheads. I mean, that's the whole purpose of this trip. I had to be with my people.
You saw our ancestors while you were there. Well, welcome back. I'm glad you had such a great trip. We are so excited to be coming to you today, not only to get back into the swing of things because we love you, we miss you, we love when you guys join us, but honestly because we've got a lot to talk about. It's been a little bit of a roller coaster. It's been a roller coaster this month. Every week has been a new story. I'm happy to have my bestie back so we can jump into it.
I'm happy to be here with my bestie.
Thank you. So I'm going to put a banner at the bottom here. If you guys are watching any and all of our live streams and you want to get in touch with us to just talk about your situation or ask specific questions, we are here for you. I want to just say that up front. All day, as loud as possible. We love you. We want to give you good guidance as we can. And honestly, we're never going to pressure you to buy a house. We want to just make sure that we can answer your questions no matter when you are calling us. So it could be now you're buying a house. You could be buying a house in 4 years, 10 years, or maybe not even sure if you want to buy. Amber is an incredible resource to have to help you put a game plan together to get ready for that. And I'm an incredible resource just to be your awesome Las Vegas bestie. So I think that together we bring the heat.
And we love talking to you too. Yeah, so don't ever feel like you can't call or you're embarrassed because we love it when you call.
We do. There's no shame in anybody's game. There's no judgment. We just want to help you. But if you don't know who I am, my name is Lacey. This is Amber. And we are here to talk to you a little bit today about the real estate market, what's going on in Las Vegas right now. And then we're going to touch a little bit on reverse mortgages because that's been something that a hot topic, honestly,
lately. It has been a hot topic, yeah.
Probably due to inflation and some other things, which we'll talk about. So you ready to jump in?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. So today we're going to talk about the latest and greatest information that we have as it relates to what's going on in the real estate market. So I'm going to add this to the screen, a little bit of a slide that walks us through the housing snapshot. So this is July's numbers. So if you've watched our streams for any given time, you know that in real estate, we can't look forward. It's a crystal ball, sometimes foggy, although our crystal ball is pretty accurate. But
we've done really good at our crystal ball.
Really good, but sometimes foggy crystal ball. So we rely on historical data to help us make determinations of what the heck's going on. So with that being said, we're super excited about the fact that we've still had a pretty strong.
The median prices are definitely moving up. Huh?
Median prices I think they're pretty steady because it was like a steady, maybe dropping a little, but the prices are really sticking because we don't have any inventory. We've only got about 1.7 months worth of inventory as of July, and I think it's even gone down since then. So it's a little bit crazy to kind of think that there's still people coming out here to buy, that the prices aren't skyrocketing considering that there's not a lot of new movement of inventory, but they're sticking pretty steady. They might dip a little here and there. July is typically a very slow month for real estate in general, especially in Vegas, because it's wherever the month everybody goes on vacation.
And it's 115 degrees.
And it's 115 degrees. So that being said,
everybody gets a little tired that month.
Yes. So with us, we try to stay positive, but even through the month of July, we definitely saw a bunch of people still moving to Vegas. A lot of people buying new homes, which we can talk about later. But to see the median price point dip a little, but not necessarily drop, I'm kind of actually pretty encouraged by that. What do you think?
I mean, as a homeowner. That all looks pretty positive to me.
I agree. If homeownership is an investment in your future, you're watching, that things are still steady, even though the rest of the world seems like it's imploding, I'd say, right?
Yeah.
I will say too, let's touch on condos and townhome units. So we're actually up month over month. Previous month, I believe it was closer to 250 or 265. So I have to look. I don't have the. Yeah, it was definitely. We're up. We're definitely up. Yeah. So what's crazy is townhomes have kind of stuck. And condos have kind of been stuck in the same 250 range, 250, 265 range. But to see it go up tells me that the people who can't find homes, because the inventory is so limited, are definitely in a place where they're starting to maybe shift their mindset and go over to buy condos. I've also seen a lot of people investing in Vegas and deciding to do the whole, I'm going to get it, I'm going to rent it out, I just want to have something in Vegas, because a lot of people who are calling me each week are seeing the true value in what Vegas is putting together for the future. The Sphere is opening. We've got all this crazy F1 stuff happening. We've got the Super Bowl's coming up, the Raiders. We've got the possibility of a baseball team. Maybe we'll see. So all of that happening, I think, is giving people the realization that they're trying to see into their crystal ball and see what's going on in the future for our city. So I love it. I'm super excited. That's the housing snapshot, my friends.
Love it.
So what that means for you is, if you are a buyer, if you're thinking about buying a house right now, we're going to walk through that a little bit. I'm going to do something fun right now. Actually, I'm going to showcase, I think, if I can get it to work. I was going to showcase you guys the cheapest house in Vegas and the most expensive house. So I'll see if I can make that work while you're
nosy.
talking.
We want to see that stuff.
Definitely nosy. But if you're a home buyer or you're thinking about relocating and you're listening to the news and some of the negative people out there, like some other realtors out there even are like, don't buy in Vegas. I'm the truth teller. I'm going to give you the scoop.
For real?
Yeah. And listen, the reality of the situation is that's all clickbait. Most of them are wanting you to click so that they can make money on the click, not just maybe the sale of a house with you. But the truth of the situation is it's not always a good time to buy for every single human on the planet. But we firmly believe that there's always a deal to be had when it's your time to buy. Would you agree?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when it's an individual decision. And I think the reason why, like, I have like home ownership to me is like a core belief. And I think it's because of what I've gone through personally. Like, there's times that I've had to rent and dealt with horrible renters. And the only way for me to really find my financial freedom was through home ownership, because I could buy a house and then I can work really hard and pay that house off.
Yeah.
And then I can move forward and I can buy other houses and rent them out and be able to build residual income for my household. So there's no other way, and there's no other way that I've seen millionaires become millionaires without home ownership. So like, I don't really see any other way other than owning a home. And like, anytime I've rented, I'll look at the outgoing money that I have going out of my account. And I'm like, why am I doing this? I'm not paying anything down. I'm not paying any bill down at all by renting. So, so for me, like, it's a belief that I just can't get rid of. Like, it's like a core belief within me that no matter where we are, no matter where the markets are, because you can always redo like rates with a refinance, right? You can always pay things down, but you're going to have to pay on your housing anyway.
Yeah. So why not put that money towards an investment that'll pay you back someday?
Yeah.
So I like to say that because I see a lot of doomsdayers and a lot of naysayers out there who are always watching. They're always trying to time the market, which isn't a thing. The market. It's not a thing.
People a year ago were trying to time the market, and look what the prices have done.
Right. So for us, we are always going to bring you information about the reality, the truth. The truth doesn't always have to come with a negative tone if there's a negative message. And so I think one of our things that we like to do when we work with people is bring hope. That's our core value. So I always believe I'm always going to push and encourage home ownership because I believe firmly, I have a core belief in my life as well, that's the easiest way for you to build your future and live on your money that you're spending now, live on it later, right? With that being said, it's not always a perfect market for everyone. And I'm not always going to say that it's the time to buy for you, but I always do believe when it's your time to buy, when you need to buy, we'll be able to find you a deal. We'll be able to do the thing that we need to do to make sure that you are set for success when it comes to your process. So right now, what would your opinion be for the type of buyer that would be buying right now based on limited inventory, higher rates than we've been seeing, which maybe aren't going to be high in 5 years. We don't know, right? Who knows? What's your thoughts on who should be buying a house right now?
Well, I mean, there's a couple buyers. So if you're leaving one state, like say you're retiring, right? So you're leaving one state, you're coming to Las Vegas, which a lot of people are doing. Then yeah, you definitely want to buy. Why would you want to take your equity in your house that you're leaving and then not put it into another house, right? So you'd be kind of in that situation where why would I rent because I'm just throwing it away,
right?
That kind of thing. Like if you're renting right now and you're looking at it, plus especially if you're in a horrible landlord situation where you don't like where you're living because of one reason or another, the landlord's horrible, your neighbor's horrible, whatever, then yeah, that's going to be your time to buy.
Right.
I'm trying to think of a situation that, like, if you already have a house and you're living in that house and you have a super low rate on that house and you're thinking about upgrading, you might want to wait to upgrade.
Yeah.
You might want to wait till rates calm down a little bit to upgrade a house, like stay put in your house that you have right now. So, just giving a couple situations on when it's a good time to buy and then when it's not a good time to buy.
Absolutely.
What do you think?
I think now is a great time to buy for people who aren't afraid of a little risk. And by risk, meaning temporary risk, maybe temporary pain. A lot of people like I said, they try to time the market. They try to find that perfect wedge of time that's going to give them the best rate, and they're going to be able to negotiate the house down, and they're going to be able to make money on it in 2 years because they're going to flip it. That scenario doesn't exist. Definitely not in Vegas. It just doesn't. So for me, I think anybody who's always wanted to own a home and is tired of paying rent, or always wanted to live in Vegas and is tired of living where they live, move to Vegas once you're comfortable with Vegas and you know where you want to live, or you work with us to become more familiar with the city to help you be enlightened on what kind of lifestyle you can have in certain pockets. It's time for you to buy. At the end of the day, I think rates have a tendency to scare people away, which I haven't seen as much lately, which I'm encouraged by. But the news and the naysayers and the other realtors who are pretending to speak the truth when really they're being deceiving by having you click on something that's not necessarily the real message, are really sending people down the wrong path. So this is not a message to get you to buy a house today with us because we're hard selling you. It's more of a message to let you know how we do business and why we come and do these live streams every single week, and why we will always encourage you to buy a home
and give you light.
Always bring you hope.
Honestly, where do you find in darkness anyway? The other thing I wanted to mention to what you were just saying too is that I was reading a report earlier today that the United States is 4 million houses short on the amount of people that need to buy houses or have a place to live,
or need a place to live, shelter,
have a place to live. So as far as like looking at investments and like if your house is going to gain or whatever, if it's 4 million short, then that report that I was reading was saying it's going to take a few years to even catch up.
Yeah,
the builders can't move that fast.
Yeah. So I think the message from us today is, honestly, we wanted to give you a little bit of a market update. We're going to talk about reverse mortgage in a minute as well, because we do think that that's a topic that some of you should be considering in light of just the scenario that we're seeing out in the world and the economy. But beyond that, I think it's just important for us to let you know that we're always going to bring you hope. We're never going to be the people who put the negative headlines for you to click and then it be bait and switch, or even just be negative at all, because there's no reason to be negative when it comes to us bringing you hope for dreaming of home ownership, or dreaming of having something to call your own, or just really honestly getting out from under that crappy landlord that you hate. Because I hate when I've had landlords that were like that, and it can really ruin your day, your week, your month, your year. We're always going to be the people you can rely on for truth, for a non-pushy, non-pressured experience, and honesty. Again, truth, honesty, and just honestly hope. We want to make sure we bring you hope. So if you're sitting around watching this, or you're talking to your friends when you're all going out and you're hearing nothing but negative, come and find our channels. Watch one of these videos. These videos are not to convince you to buy a home. They're convince you to keep dreaming and keep hoping. And when you're ready, you'll call.
Don't let that dream die. Come on.
I'm not going to do it. So Amber, talk to me about reverse mortgages. I've had my own, I guess, preconceived notions or misunderstandings about this. And I want to understand, what's a reverse mortgage, period, if you could, like, layman's terms it for us.
Layman's terms, yeah.
And then also beyond that, like who should do it and who shouldn't. And before you do that, this video is for you. So drop it like it's hot in the comment box below. If you want to talk to us, if you want to ask us questions, we are not just going to talk about all this stuff. We're going to come to you in a minute. So this is about you. Drop it like it's hot. And if you are interested in working with us, our phone number is on the bottom of the screen. And you can also click the link in the description or the pinned comment below. Next.
Nice.
Talk to me about reverse mortgage.
So here's what a reverse mortgage is. When you're of a certain age, so it's 62 years or above, you can take the equity in your house. So like, let's say you're going to move to Vegas. Let's say you're moving from California. You're going to move into Las Vegas, and you have a house to sell in California, and you have about $300,000 in equity. You want to buy a $600,000 house here. So you can take out what's called a reverse mortgage on the $300,000 loan that you're doing, because sometimes you need about 50% equity depending on your age. So I can talk to you about that qualification when we talk, but a lot of times it's about 50%. And then what that does is that it gives you two options depending on how much you're going to put down. Either you make no mortgage payment every month. So you buy the house, you put the large down payment down, and there's no mortgage payment due. And I'm going to explain why in a second. Or if you're putting a large sum of money down, you can even get money paid to you each month on that mortgage. So like
you draw down on the money.
Yeah, like you're going to get a paycheck coming to you. Instead of you paying the mortgage company $2,000 a month, the mortgage company pays you a certain amount of money.
Wow. And
so here's how it works. The reverse mortgage is simply reverse, right? It's reverse of what you would normally do. So your payment is getting attached to the equity of the house each month. And this is where all the negativity comes in.
This is where the
reverse mortgages, because it's like it is a negative amortization loan. So you have a rate that's attached to that loan, and the payment that arrives due to the rate is going to be attached to the back of your loan. So like, let's say that payment is $2,000 a month. When you first start the loan, if you're taking it out for $300,000, the first month that the payment's due, then you owe $302, and then
so
$304.
It's adding to the balance of your loan.
So you're adding to the balance of the loan. So sometimes people will ask, well, how is this a good deal? Well, right now, the reason why it's so popular right now, or people are asking me about it all the time, is because when you're on a retirement income, your fixed income, it's getting harder and harder to live
with
inflation.
Yeah.
So how I'm looking at it, and I've had to change my mindset on this too. So how I'm looking at it is that why not use, because that equity that you have in this house that you have right now, whether you've lived in the house for a little bit or you're just buying it and putting a large equity, a lot of it's coming because you've owned houses before and you've taken that equity out and you've put it into this house. So why not use that equity to live a nice life while you're retired? So for you as a homeowner, it's an amazing situation. For your children, maybe not so much.
Well, if your children are reliant on that piece of property or that asset to come to them when you go.
If they want all the equity that you have to come to them when you go, then it might not be the best situation for you. But if they want you to live the best life that you possibly can without depending on them right now, because you can do it with depending on the house that you own, then it's a good situation for you.
Well, and I'd say too, so a lot of times, when you, it's not the greatest in America specifically, where a lot of elderly people, all they have is their house, because Social Security is not covering whatever it's supposed to cover. The retirement fund didn't come through, whatever, right? For whatever reason, their income is shrinking due to inflation or whatever reason. And so that becomes sort of a burden onto their children and their extended family in that moment anyway, because everyone's pitching in to hopefully help that person stay alive and survive. So being able to do that is almost like you're gifting that to your children in that moment of time, because you're no longer as much of a, and I hate using the word burden, but like it becomes sort of like you're no longer reliant on their assistance. You're now able to like utilize what you've put all that money investing into over the years to live off of and enjoy. So it's in essence a bit of a retirement fund, right? The way
it really is a retirement fund. Yeah.
If for me, I'm a big believer in, like you want to live the best life that you can while you're living it. You want to, you don't want to be strapped and be completely reliant on other people. Your kids will likely have better memories with you if you're utilizing this while you're still alive, while you're still kicking and having
they're traveling with you.
Like waiting until you pass to leave them a bunch of money is great, but I think that this is maybe a little bit of a better experience. Now, is it possible, quick question, is it possible to still have funds or equity left when you do pass, depending on how you structure it?
So when
that's so morbid, by the way.
I know it's kind of a weird conversation. But so how do you say that in a nice way? So
when you pass,
when you're ready to
kick the bucket, when you die, okay, for crying out loud.
Or even if you decide to sell the house at some point, you have a payoff on the house. So like if there's still equity in the house, because remember you put a large sum of money down on that house, if there's still equity, you get it. Your equity is going to be what you took the house out for, added to it what your payments on the house were that you added to the loan, and then you subtract the equity. So you should still be able to get something with that down payment, depending on how long you had the reverse mortgage.
Now, like, is a reverse mortgage in my 40s, when I plan on living in this house for the rest of my life, a good idea?
You can't do it in your 40s.
Can't do it in the 40s. So what are the requirements?
62 years of age is the youngest you can be to be able to do a reverse mortgage.
So this really is geared towards people who are in their latter years of retiring. It really is trying to force people or help people, whatever the word is you want to use, to enjoy the investment that they kicked down.
Like I've told my parents, I just said, they're going into where they're going to be on a straight fixed income. And just so there's not fighting in between siblings and stuff like that, of who's paying for what or whatever, if they need problems, I just said, or if they run into some problems, I just said, look, if you run into problems, just tell me and we'll switch your house into a reverse mortgage. Because as kids, we don't need the money. We'd rather be able to see you guys live a nice life. Right. And retire, like when you're retired, travel, do some fun stuff, live life a little bit. Instead of just sit at home doing nothing because you're counting your pennies to pay your bills on your fixed income. So,
is there anyone aside from people who want to leave something of value to their children, which you still can if you do the reverse mortgage, depending on how you structure it, right, and the length of the loan and all of that? Is there anyone else who shouldn't do it, who it's not a good idea for? Like maybe somebody who doesn't have any equity in their home, somebody.
If you're somebody that has planned your retirement and everything's worked in your favor, you hadn't had any road bumps or anything like that, and you have so much money put away, it might not be best, but some of those people too. So I have a financial planner that I work with a lot, and he'll send me a lot of his really wealthy people to do reverse mortgages. And the reason why he does them is because they have their house owned free and clear, but he's doing a reverse mortgage to capitalize on that money from the equity. And then he takes the money and reinvests it into other things to be able to make more money on his money. So, and I've seen a lot of financial planners do this, honestly,
that's
to
an important note.
To take that money and to reinvest and to turn it into something bigger.
So it's not always in dire straits. You don't have to be in dire straits to do it. You can actually structure it well and put it into something that might get you a yield of faster return than a long-term home loan.
Yeah, and if you like to play the stock market and you like to play, that gives you a sum of money to be able to do it, but then you don't have the monthly payment, just like you own the house free and clear,
smart.
Too. So.
You're so smart. I swear to God, I just love it. Just a quick reminder, guys, our phone number, my personal phone number is scrolling at the bottom. If you want to reach out, text me, call me anytime you want. Would love to answer your questions regarding buying a house in Vegas, living in Vegas, or anything else I can help you with. Amber here is also available if you're ready to talk game plan, or you're thinking about, I'm 5 years out, but I want to make sure I'm doing everything right. She's available too.
I love game plan talks.
We do.
Game plan.
We love the game plan talks. Anyway, click the link in the description below, and we'd be happy to put some time together for you and Amber. Also, please comment below. Let us know if you have questions while we're talking, because I want to definitely kind of keep this convo going. I now feel like I know a lot more about reverse mortgages. Thank you for making it like a layman's terms. Did
it make sense?
Well,
to you?
I'm a layman of I'm a layman's layman. I'm a layman, so I appreciated it. It definitely made sense to me, and I definitely thought that was an interesting note that you said about how financial planners who are helping people structure their money and get the most out of it are telling people to utilize this as a strategy. And I think that that's really important, because a lot of people I just think there's a lot of negative and misunderstood information about reverse mortgages. So thank you. That was awesome.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay, so do me a favor, keep dropping it like it's hot. We want to see those comments below. I'm going to see if I can present my screen here and talk to you about, just for fun, let's look at what the most expensive house in Las Vegas looks like. And let's look at let's see. All right, let me just make sure I pull up the correct one. Okay, let me see if I can make this happen. I did it once, I'll do it again. All right, guys. Let's see. Can you see it? Yes. Okay, so I've
Still there?
Okay, I don't know what happened. Maybe I was trying to do too much. We went blank for a minute. We're back. Let me try this again. I really think it'd be fun to showcase to you guys the most expensive home in Las Vegas, and then also the cheapest home in and around Las Vegas. So let me see if this will work.
Because we love being nosy.
I do love this. Okay, yes. Okay, you can see it. So as I'm looking here, let me just go back over to my screen. So I'm displaying criteria, just so you guys know: active and coming soon, single family homes only. I had to do that differential on there because it shows me too many results, but then I can sort it by price. As of right now, I always get such a kick out of this because it's been listed for like 1,900 days, but the Main Street Old Jail, which isn't even in Las Vegas, is the cheapest home in Las Vegas. I was going to
say $34,000.
So let me actually scroll down to the actual homes in Las Vegas, because I think there's actually the cheapest home in Las Vegas, I think. Nope, that's McGill, Nevada. See? You just never know. You got to scooch through and see. Let me start with the most expensive, because that one's actually more exciting. I just saw this for let's see, 85 days. For 85 days now, 761 Dragon Ridge Drive.
Oh yes,
has been listed. Let's look at the photos of this bad boy.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Okay, let's see what you guys can see to make sure you can see it. Okay, yes, you can see it fine. Let's go to the next one. Look how beautiful that is. 29. Wait, let me what is it? $29 million. Okay, that's what we're looking at. $29 million. Beautiful.
That is a beautiful,
incredible, amazing house here in Las Vegas. If you want to see this house or you want to schedule a tour, I would be happy to show you this house at any given time. I will pressure you to buy it if you look at that home, because I'm going to want to come and visit. But this house is obviously pretty amazing. It's got several car garage. It is the bougiest of bougie, and it is only been listed for 85 days. Now, I feel like this has been listed a couple of times. It almost looks like a resort, doesn't it?
It does.
Kind of looks like that's the reception desk. Look at this. How beautiful is this home?
Doesn't look lived in.
It does not. I'll have to call and see if they'll let me come and do a video tour of this house. I just love this. So I don't know if you guys are interested in this stuff. I definitely am. I love looking at things that are, a little out of my reach. This one's a lot out of my reach.
Because you got to dream.
Got to dream a little
dream. You can't let the dream die.
Dream a little dream. I'm going to keep scrolling. Look at that.
I can see you
Look
in
at
this
that
house,
kitchen.
Lacey.
I cannot see me in this house. This is crazy. Although look at that. I can see me in that house now. Look at that wine cellar. Hello. Floating staircase, gorgeous, amazing, beautiful home. I'll give you the stats on this house in a second. I just want to show you some more pictures. How beautiful.
Look at those ceilings.
It's got an elevator. It's got a theater. Beautiful freaking house. Oh my goodness. Look, shuffleboard. Who wants to play? I love this.
They got everything in this house.
It's amazing.
So for a whopping
$29 million. $29,999,999.
Oh yeah, $29,999. Don't forget that part.
Right. So it's $30 million, guys. All right, I'm gonna pull it off of this one. So this one's from a information standpoint. It's let's see, 20. Oh, I got it. I can't even. 15,000 square feet. It's got 8 bedrooms. It's on 1 to 5 acres, and it seems pretty freaking amazing. So it's thought we'd wet your palate a little bit with that one. Now let me flip the script and see if we can find one of the cheapest houses in Las Vegas. Let's see. Some of them are in Pahrump. The problem is like when I look at the search and I go to the map, it's going to show us all of Las Vegas. So like it's going to show outside of Vegas too.
Just for fun, let's look at that jail, the $34,000 jail.
It's at the Main Street Old Jail, which
I
is
just
not
want to
even
see it.
It's not even in Las Vegas. It's in White Pine County, but let's look at the photos. It's genuinely an old historical building that definitely needs some love. Oh boy, definitely. It almost looks like an army bunker a little bit. It was a jail, so I guess similar vibes in terms of like constrained space. This is the old jail on Main Street. Wow. It's not in Las Vegas though. This is outside of Vegas. Look at that thing. It's got a satellite. First of all, the old jail. Let's all look at this. Satellite dish on the old jail.
You gotta have what's important in there.
I know. So this bad boy, this historic building is listed for $34,000 in case anybody wants to look at it. So I just thought it would be fun for us to take a look. We'll do a better job next time. I'll pre-plan and actually know which one I'm looking at, but I just thought that would be fun. So we've got a $30 million house. If you're ready to buy or you want to look at it, we'd be happy to show you. I'll even drive out and show you the old jail if you're serious about buying. So we can talk about that. Another thing before we jump into answering questions is I want to basically ask you I want to kind of introduce a new segment that I want to close out with every time we do a live stream. I want to talk about kind of like the WTF stories of the week or the awesome stories of the week. So do you have any good stories or any cautionary tales or anything that we can talk about today?
I think it was just 2 days ago, I talked to this really fun client and she didn't really think she could buy anything. So when I pulled her up, because she didn't have any down payment money. So, right now you got to walk in with some type of money, right? Yeah. She does have a little bit of money, but it wasn't enough for down payment and closing costs.
Right.
So I pulled her up. I asked her how many kids she has. She had a number of kids. And then I was running some numbers for her, and I found out she could use the grant program that was giving her $15,000
towards closing costs, or towards down payment?
The down payment.
Oh, for free, not repaid. It's actual grant.
No, this is the grant where you keep it for 3 years and then it's forgivable.
Okay, so because I know when I talked to this client, I know who you're talking about. She called me and was like, "I'm not ready to buy yet. I just moved to Vegas. I found out where I want to live. I love the area. I want to learn more from you. I just don't know what I could possibly qualify for, if at all." And I was like, yeah, you kind of need to talk to Amber because she's going to run the numbers. And if you can't buy right now, she'll put you on a game plan. So we thought she was calling Amber to be put on a game plan to maybe buy in the next year, right? We just didn't know.
No.
She called me back 30 minutes later. She said she could buy right now. She got free $15,000 grant.
Yeah, it's so exciting when you can get the grants.
That's awesome.
I love it when the grants are available.
Well, that's a high five story of the week.
That's a definite high five. It's going to be exciting getting her into a house.
So once again, just want to remind you guys, we don't care if you're looking to buy a house or even now or never. Honestly, if you just want more information about what it's like to live in Las Vegas, or if maybe you're thinking about investing, we want to talk to you. So there is a link in the description. There's also a phone number at the bottom. Text me, call me anytime. We can be friends. I get a lot of text messages. I get a lot of emails. I'm having such a blast these days talking to people.
That's awesome.
It's been really fun. All right, let's jump in and see if we can say hi to some of our viewers and see what's what. All right. Hey, our sweet friend Sammy Brown. We love you, girl. Can't wait. She's almost ready to buy, I bet she is. James Fitzpatrick says, "Lacey, I'm planning to move to Vegas next year after my daughter graduates. Is that too far out to touch base with your group?" No, it's not, James.
Let's talk.
We want to talk today. Actually, now is better than later, because honestly, what we've learned, just like with this client, is even if you're not ready to buy, there may be a program that will allow you to start earning equity on whatever you could buy earlier than you plan, and you could rent it out until you're ready to move in. Or just call me. We can just do a little dream and a little dream. We'll introduce you to Amber when it's time.
Let's keep that dream alive.
I want to be very honest with you guys. I've had at least 6 clients, maybe closer to 10, but I'm going to say solidly 6 in my brain right now, who actually believed me when I said, call me now. I don't care if you're buying now or 10 years from now. And I have been talking to them for 4 years. We've been talking to them for 4 and 5 years. I think one of them closed on a house. Our sweet friend Sam, I'm not going to say his last name, but our friend Sam, he's been talking to us for, 3 or 4 years, just closed on a house like last month. He's finally in Vegas. He's living his dream. We've had several clients who we've been talking to for years. I've been doing this 7 years. You've been doing this just a little bit longer. I won't age you, but
Don't age
a
me.
few years longer. She's a top 200 lenders in the nation.
We were talking about that Botox earlier.
Probably need to go get Botox. Anyway, with that being said, just super grateful. So please reach out. It's never too early. It's never too early. You know what it can be? It can be too late. Okay, so don't let it be too late. Let it be too early. Okay, we want to make sure you guys
talk
get
to you.
going.
We really do.
C Pimpin says, "Hey ladies, good to see you. Hi,
hey,
good to see
C Pimpin.
Michael says, "Why are there no multifamily buildings to buy in Henderson as an investor?" Great question.
There isn't a lot of multifamily properties.
There are not. You know, we have a lot of apartment buildings in Las Vegas, most of them owned by major corporations. Henderson is not really an area that did a lot of zoning for multifamily units unless they were like corporation owned rental apartments. Not that wouldn't be, but they didn't do the smaller multifamily home experiences. North Las Vegas, Northwest, there's definitely more opportunity over there. But I'll be honest, when I got into this business, I thought that's what I was going to do as an investor, that I was going to get my real estate license and I was going to live in one unit and rent out the rest and have them pay my rent, or, pay my mortgage.
It's a good plan.
But I very, very quickly realized that at the time, 7 years ago, they were running $350,000 to $450,000. And even if I could have afforded it, there were like 10, and it felt like there were like 10 to choose from.
And they had a lot of problems with them too.
And they had a lot of problems. They were dilapidated. They were not taken care of. So it's just genuinely, Vegas didn't expand in a way that required that type of housing until later. And I think, and when it did, it was more corporations that came in with money to develop that type of housing. So yeah, it's kind of tough. Sorry about that. Give us a call though. We might be able to find you a gem. And honestly, maybe structuring your mindset a little bit differently would allow you to use money instead of buying something like that to apply it to a different strategy. We've got a lot of strategies for those types of thinking, but thank you for asking. Okay. DLBTT says, if you'd like an overview of house types, floor plan, where can you find it? I think my biggest concern is I'm picky and I have to be sure the floor plan suits what I want. Great question.
Yeah, that is great.
So if you're looking at a resale home, a lot of times, I've done this a lot of times actually for clients. Let's say we find a home and I'll go and do a walkthrough of the home for them with the video if they can't come into town. But let's say it's a house that's like, I don't know, older and they've made modifications, whatever. Aside from a video walkthrough, sometimes we are able to go back into like the archives with the builder of who actually originally built the home and get the floor plan layouts from like an aerial view, dollhouse view, so you can take a look at it. There's not a registry online or anything that you can go and look and search unless you're looking at really new homes, because that's going to be on the new home website. So it's really, that means you got to reach out to me, right? It means you got to reach out to me. If you're really looking, you really want to see what those layouts are, and you're a serious buyer, and we're looking at, okay, you're already qualified to buy. We don't mind scheduling those video tours on your behalf and walking through the house and actually showing you inside the drawers and inside the laundry room and all those things, and really giving you a really good idea of the layout. Good question, though.
Good answer too.
All right. I said, let's say, look, we came back on pretty quick with that weird blackout. That was so weird. DLVTT says that house is on YouTube. Awesome. Yeah, I did not do a tour. Maybe I did a tour. That took $30 million. I'm not surprised. Hello. They better have a budget for that
house.
Living in Nevada says, hi, ladies. Hello. Nice to see you. Raphael Jones says, hey, ladies, staying in touch from Seattle. Talk again soon. Hi, Raphael. Good to see you. Thanks again. All right. Last one. Robert Guy says, you both and your team are great. I'm at a crossroads. My salary is high. We have high income equity, and I'm ready to retire at 64. My wife is 14 years younger, and is a no on reverse mortgage. Is that right? And is a no on reverse mortgage.
Yeah, I mean, if she's 14 years younger, it might be a no on reverse, but let's talk about other options. Let's get you out.
I totally butchered your comment, but I'm so grateful that you put that in there. Rob, thank you for saying such kind things about our team. Please reach back out to us. We'd love to chat. I think, I can put you in touch with Amber right away. You can obviously find her as well. If I know anything about Amber, I'm trying to make sure I say this the right way. If I know anything about Amber, she is a dog with a bone. She gets a bone in her mouth. She's never letting it go. Okay?
We're going to find you a way, okay?
She's going to find a way. And what I've seen you do with people who have an abundance of money or investment money from selling something and moving into something new, what I've seen you help them do strategy-wise to structure their investments, to not only just get one home and pay it off and blah, 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 but have 5 or 6 homes that they can buy, or 1 or 2 homes that have one home pay for the other. Like, this girl knows how to game plan better than anybody I've ever.
We'll work those numbers. We will work it.
Strategy queen. She is the top 200 lenders, one of the top 200 lenders in the nation. She's a loan wizard. How many other freaking names can I come up with you? She's my bestie from the Westie, and I'm trying to come up with something else. I'm just going to break into song and dance in a minute. I love you. No, just kidding. So anyway, she's an awesome strategizer. strategy king, queen. I don't know.
I'm
Anyway,
like out of words right now.
I'm out of words now. Clearly, we've been talking for too long. But anyway,
but we want to be able to help you use your money in the best way.
Even if reverse mortgage doesn't work for you, dang it. Anyway, on that note, that's our show for today, friends. On that note, I just want to sign off and say thank you to everybody who's been reaching out. We've got an abundance of calls in the last month. It's been an honor talking to so many of you.
Thank you so much.
We love you. We're grateful. We're back. If you can tell from the thumbnail, we're back, and we're really excited to get back into the swing of things with you as we enter into the last portion of our 2023 season. I'm leaving in 7 days to move my sweet, brilliant, gorgeous son into his college dorm, and then I'm a free empty nest. I'm an empty nester. I got to figure out how to keep my time filled. So I'm planning to fill it with lots more content for you, and especially lots more hangouts with you. So
yes, let's do it.
Thank you for tuning in. Amber, love you always.
Love you too. It's good to be back. Good to see your cute face.
Thank you. My bestie from the Westie. Your bestie from the Westie too, if you know how to work this girl to your advantage. So love you guys. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk to you next time.
Bye guys.
Bye.